Hi guys, and welcome to prediction week 8. We come back after the international break and we start with a cracker, the lunchtime kick-off tomorrow, which is Liverpool versus Manchester United at 12:30. Obviously I've spoken about Manchester United this year. You know, a lot of teams have said, well, you know, a lot of other fans have said, you know, that you've only faced West Ham, or you've only faced Swansea. Haven't really had a real test. So I kind of feel that this is the real test that they shall have tomorrow afternoon. You know, it's going to be lively. We know what Liverpool Manchester United is all about. You know, so Manchester United have been on tremendous form. You know, there's no doubt about that. You know, they've been tremendous. You know, we can't knock that. Liverpool, again, they do what Liverpool usually do. Started off quite good, and they've just started to drip off a little bit. So again, but it's at home. We all know that Anfield's an emotional place. It's going to be rocking. The crowd will be electric. And again, Liverpool will be up for it as well. So, because it's Manchester United's first test, and because I think that Liverpool will be up for it, I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I'm going to go Liverpool 1, Manchester United 1. I don't think too many people will argue with that. I mean, I know that Manchester United are going to be the favourites, but again, I know form always goes out the window of the derby. So I think most people will probably agree with the draw this weekend. But if you disagree, leave your comments in the comment section below. We now go to the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and we have Burnley versus West Ham, two teams that have, you know, struggled to get their season going this season. So I'm going to go for the same result in that one as well. I'm going to go Burnley 1, West Ham 1. We then have Manchester City versus Stoke, and again Manchester City started off a little bit slow, but now they're starting. You know, we're starting to see you know, their talent and their quality that they've got in the squad. You know, can't see Stoke being too much of a problem for Manchester City, especially when it's at home as well. So I'm going to go Manchester City 3, Stoke 0. It was very sad to hear of Sergio Aguero's car accident as well. Hope he recovers from that very soon. You know, devastating news when you hear things like that. So, you know, as I say, I hope he recovers very soon and gets back to football. We then have Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Again, Crystal Palace have struggled this season. Obviously got Roy Hodgson as the manager now. Chelsea haven't quite looked the team that there was last season. You know, they're taking quite a while to get going. But I remember last season as well, you know, they took quite a while to get going, but, you know, ended up winning the title. You know, so it's a bit too early in the season yet to start writing teams off for the titles and that. But they're certainly not quite right, you know, at Chelsea at the moment. But I do think they will scrape a win against Crystal Palace. I'm going to go Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2. We then have Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Obviously, Tottenham struggle quite a lot at Wembley, and Bournemouth like to score a lot of goals. So, surprise, surprise, with the Bournemouth game, I'm going to go for a lively game in this one. I'm going to go Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 2. I've seen. I'm going to check these videos out. Actually, I think more or less every single week. I think I'll go Leicester or Bournemouth to draw 2-2 nearly every single week. So I'm going to have to change that one of these weeks, aren't I? We then have Swansea versus Huddersfield. You know, two teams that are probably going to be fighting down the bottom towards the end of the season. So these are usually crucial 3 points. You know, you've heard me speak about them before. You know, especially when you're on the home side. I'm not going to give the 3 points to Swansea. However, I'm not going to give them to Huddersfield either. I'm going to go for another boring draw. Really, I'm going to go Swansea 1, Huddersfield 1. And then at 5:30, we have Watford versus Arsenal. I wasn't too convinced with Arsenal's performance against Brighton just before the international break. Yes, we did win, but it wasn't really a convincing performance, to be honest. I can't tell you how we played in the Europa League or against West Bromwich. I know we won, but I can't tell you how we played because obviously I was away at Lord's. I missed those 2 games. But you know, I suppose the key factor is that we are picking up points. You know, I don't think we've lost one since we got humiliated against Liverpool, actually. I think we drew to Chelsea. We beat Bournemouth. I think we beat Bournemouth. We drew to Chelsea. And we beat West Bromwich and we've beaten Brighton. So, you know, not too bad. You know, but we're not playing great, which worries me. Well, we didn't play that great against Brighton anyway, which worries me, to be honest. I think we'll struggle against Watford, playing wise as well. They're going to park the bus, and I think they'll frustrate us. I think it's going to be one of those scrappy kind of games, if you know what I mean. I do think Arsenal will scrape a win, but it's not going to be as easy as some Arsenal fans think, and some other Arsenal fans have said that as well. It's not going to be as easy, as we think. So I'm going to give a goal to Watford as well, but I think Arsenal will scrape it. I'm going to go Watford 1, Arsenal 2. We now go to the Sunday fixtures. 1:30, we have Brighton versus Everton. Again, Everton, have struggled to get their season going this season. I'm not sure what it is. Is it because they've brought in a lot of players and it's taking time to gel? That could be the case. We've seen that many times. Sometimes it does take time, for a team to get used to each other. They are away from home. I said I was quite impressed with Brighton against Arsenal. Again, I am going to give Everton the scrape of the win, because I just think they've got too much quality in there, to lose. I'm not being disrespectful to Brighton, but I think they've got too much quality, to beat the likes of Brighton. So I'm going to go Brighton 1, Everton 2. At 4:00, we have Southampton versus Newcastle. Again, two teams that are quite struggling to get their form going. I know it's away from home, but again, I just think that Newcastle might have the better quality out of the two. I'm going to go Southampton 1, Newcastle 2. And we have a bit of a West Midlands derby. At 8:00 on Monday night, we have Leicester versus West Bromwich Albion. And again, I'm going to go for a lively game. Surprise, surprise, it's Leicester. I'm going to go Leicester 2, West Bromwich Albion 2. So that has been my predictions for this weekend, guys. It feels good to be back, actually. It feels ages since I did one of these. Because obviously I did 2 in that 1 week, because obviously I was away. And then we had the international break. So, it feels quite good to be back, actually. It just, like I say, it just feels like ages since I did one of these videos. But yeah, so that's been my predictions for this weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week for next week's predictions. Thank you for watching, guys.